Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Simi Arora. I coach people on self-mastery so they can create the life they truly love. Well, in today's video, I'm talking about mastering your mind and why is it important for you to master your mind. If you want to know more details on it, then stick around and watch the video till the end. And if you're here for the first time, then considering subscribing to this channel, because most of the content on this channel is dedicated for human transformation, which really stems from your mental faculty in terms of how you manage your mind, how you manage your emotions and actions, because whatever you experience outside in the external world is the manifestation of your inner life. So this channel is dedicated for the mental mastery, for self-mastery, so you can create the life that you're truly in love with. Before going further with this video, I have an announcement to make, which is about this free webinar that I'm hosting on Tuesday at 11 a.m. EST, which is 9:30 p.m. IST. And it's all about mental mastery. It's all about the 5-step approach to your self-mastery that includes a lot of information on your mind mastery as well. So if you're interested to create the life that is purposeful, meaningful, resilient, and hosts ample amount of self-leadership, then click on the link in the description section and join the workshop, which is happening on Tuesday. In this workshop, I am going to talk about game-changing information, the most powerful insights, and practical approach to your self-mastery. So go to the description section and click on the link and register yourself. Now let's get into the topic for today, which is about mastering your mind. And I would like to give you a couple of insights on managing your mind, the things that you can start doing from today itself so that you can manage your mind in a proper way. Now, the first thing we need to understand is the mind as is and the nature of our mind. Mind is the window through which you see the world. Mind is a subtle intelligence that makes you create the sense of the world. Everything that you gather as an external stimulus through your 5 senses reaches the faculty of mind, and then you make sense out of the things in terms of going further and wanting to experience something, or creating a repulsion and making certain choices around the things that you don't want to do. So all the decisions that you're making, all the choices that you're making in your life are coming from the place of your mind. So wherever you are right now in your life is all because of your mental conditioning. And mental conditioning happens with certain factors. Number one, your childhood, the family you grew up in, the society that you were a part of, the virtues and the values that you learned from that culture, and the people that you're surrounded with all design your mental makeup. And you start to use that information to make certain choices in your life, and then you take the lessons back from those choices, and hence your mind starts to develop. And that's why we call that mind is not a static element. It's not a static intelligence. It is something that is evolving every day. So what we need to do is to pay attention to the content of our mind so we can train our mind for the desired outcomes that we want to experience in your life. Now, the number one thing that we need to understand about the mind is its tendency to overthink. And overthinking is happening because we get embroiled in the story, in the idea, in the thought patterns that mind is perceiving. And this is because we are continuously in touch with the external stimulus. And some of this external stimulus is building this overthinking because of certain element of emotion attached to it. And if you don't know how to handle those emotions and how to handle that overthinking mind, we continue to narrow down our focus onto the things that are taking away our attention, that are distracting our mind, because you want to solve those issues today itself, but you're not able to because the place that you are in right now and the place that you want to reach, there's a gap between that. So your mind starts to focus on the lack rather than the possibility. So that's why we overthink about the things that we dislike, because we are stuck with the problem and we're not going towards the solution. So that's why training of the mind is very important, because overthinking about something that you're disliking or you don't feel comfortable with is not going to help you get to the place where you want to go. And the mind, which is building this overthinking pattern, also conditions your body to get into this cycle of creating this biochemistry in the body, which then makes you addicted to the stress. For example, if you had a negative thought such as, I'm not good enough, maybe I'll fail, maybe I'm not as lucky as other people. Now, these are all the contracting thoughts. Now, the moment that thought is created, your mind perceived it. It has its imprint on the brain. And the brain then starts to fire the neurons and build connections of those thoughts inside the brain, and then releases the chemical in the body. And those chemicals of the contracting emotions are going to be the chemicals of stress, are going to be the chemicals that are going to make you feel more contracted. And what then happens is that the body gets conditioned and the body starts to ask more of those chemicals, because now it is seeking to feel in a certain way. And then your brain has to think about those things over and over again. So the number one thing to remember is that the mind is the subtle intelligence and brain is nothing but mind in action. Everything which is happening in the mind is getting imprinted on the brain. And hence, every thought has a residual emotion, and every emotion has a biochemistry, which is affecting your body as well. That's why when we feel happy and elevated, we immediately stand up, our body's expanded, we want to dance and all that. And when we feel contracted, we feel like slouching and we feel like sleeping, we have lethargy and procrastination. So your body and mind are interconnected, and your body and mind play a significant role in building habits and behavior that are going to help you create the life that you truly want. That's the reason why we need to develop a lot of mental mastery and need to understand the process of building that mental mastery so that we can then create the life which is purposeful, which is giving a lots of meaning and magnificence to you, which is helping you unlock your truest potential. And that, my friend, is the number one thing you should be focusing on. As I said before, I'm hosting this webinar which is happening on Tuesday. I'm going to go much deeper into these concepts to make you understand how the process of deconditioning happens, which is going to then allow you to build in new habits and help you design your life, structure your life in a way that can help you support the vision of your life, help you unlock the purpose of your life. Now, one of the takeaways that I want you to take from this video is to do one practice. And that practice is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is important because it helps you detach from the overthinking mind. And once you know how to detach yourself from your overthinking mind, you can create the new thoughts. You can reframe the negative thoughts and create the positive ones, which are going to lead you towards your desired outcomes. So how do we practice mindfulness is very simple. You can start from thought mindfulness, which is simply about observing the thoughts as an observer and not getting embroiled in the drama, in the story of those thoughts. So how do we do that? Simply sit with yourself, be in the present moment, take a couple of deep breaths, and then start to look at the thoughts as is. Do not get attached to the thought. Do not pay attention to the content of the thought. Just observe them. Let them come and let them go. Now, what happens is when we practice thought mindfulness, we will see that so many of these thoughts are just the recycled thoughts of the past. They are not even the thoughts which are brand new thoughts. 95% of the thoughts that we think, in fact, even more than that, probably 97% of the thoughts that we think are the thoughts which are recycled thoughts of the past. And they're coming back in our awareness for us to either resolve some of the conflicts that we have or to take the decision towards the life that we want to live. So once you become aware of your thoughts, then you can do something about them. Then you can reframe those thoughts, or you can discard those thoughts completely and, start to focus on the new way of thinking. Thought mindfulness takes a little bit of time because it's not something, as I said, we can develop overnight, but this is a great practice if you can just spend 15 minutes doing that. In my daily life, I practice mindfulness of thoughts every day, and it has been significantly helpful for me to find more clarity in my thoughts and consciously choose the thoughts that are helping me to create the life that I want to live, to fulfill the goals that I want to manifest. So I would highly encourage you to start practicing thought mindfulness. So guys, I hope you like this video in terms of understanding the concept of the mind, and why we need to master the mind, and what is one simple practice that you can adopt every day and start to get on the journey of your mental mastery. To have more information on this and to go deeper into this, I am going to hold this workshop, which is happening on Tuesday, and I would love for you to be a part of it. So do not waste more time. Click on the link in the description below and register yourself for this training, because it's completely free, and I'm going to be with you for a whole 60 minutes. I'll answer your questions and we'll do some mindfulness exercise together, which is also going to help you develop the practice of thought mindfulness. Looking forward to meet you next time with another powerful video, and till then, stay well, stay empowered, and take care of yourself.